I've been working night patrol at a mall for about 6 months now. It's an easy gig mostly, empty halls, soft hum of the vents, the occasional motion alarm when a bird gets trapped inside. Still, that place gives off a weird kind of quiet, not peaceful, expectant, like the building is holding its breath. That night started like any other. I clocked in around 11:45, grabbed my flashlight and started the first sweep. Everything was dead silent except for my boots echoing off the tile. At around 1:00 a.m., my radio crackled. "Unit 4, you got movement on the lower level." I glanced at the monitors. Camera 12, the one facing the carousel court, showed something moving. A shadow across the floor. That didn't make sense. The carousel had been shut down for years after a little girl got hurt on it during a renovation. Nobody went near it now. I figured it was a raccoon or maybe a homeless guy sneaking in. So I grabbed my keys and started down the escalator. The lower level felt colder. Every storefront was dark, mannequins lined up behind their glass, all staring at me like they were waiting for something. I reached the carousel court and froze. The carousel was lit up. Not just flickering, but actually glowing, every bulb burning steady, the music faintly playing from somewhere I couldn't see. And it was spinning, slow, creaking like it was waking up. I raised my flashlight, trying to spot the breaker box when my radio hissed again. But instead of my partner's voice, I heard breathing, deep, slow, wet, like someone was standing inches from the mic. I whispered, "Who's there?" The carousel stopped. The music cut out with a click, leaving only the faint whine of the motor winding down. That's when I saw her, a little girl standing on the platform between the horses. She was wearing a white dress. It was dirty, torn near the hem. Her head was tilted slightly, her eyes locked on me. "Hey," I said, keeping my voice calm. "You can't be in here. Where are your parents?" She didn't move, didn't blink. Then as I stepped closer, she smiled. That's when every storefront gate in the mall slammed shut at once. The sound rolled through the halls like thunder. I spun around, lights flickering, radio screeching static in my hand, and when I turned back, the girl was gone. Only the carousel was there, spinning again, faster now. And on one of the horses, I swear to God, I saw myself. Same uniform, same flashlight, my face blank. Going around and around, eyes open but empty. I dropped the radio and ran, didn't even look back until I hit the loading bay door. I don't remember unlocking it, don't remember getting to my car. Just the sound of that old carousel music fading behind me as I drove off. They told me later the cameras glitched around 1:14. The footage showed me standing in front of the carousel, then disappearing, frame by frame, until I was gone. When they found my flashlight the next morning, it was lying on the floor beside the ride. Still on. I quit that night. Haven't set foot in that mall since. But sometimes when I drive past the mall after midnight, I swear I can see lights flickering inside. And if I listen real close, I can hear the faint creak of a carousel turning, and someone wearing my uniform, still on patrol. I work at a mall that has a very dark past. 2 years ago, someone was kidnapped in the parking lot at night, and that person was never found, nor was the person who captured them. It's something that has actually driven away customers from coming to the mall nearing nighttime. The case has hurt sales in that regard. Working night shift is somewhat scary because of that, but being a man makes it a little less terrifying. But this story isn't really about what happens outside the mall at night, but rather what happened inside of it. Or at least I should say under it. It was a Monday night, and the mall was preparing to close up for the day. People were hurrying up and trying to leave, some likely worried about what they think could happen if they stay around too long. I forgot to mention that I live in the state of Maine. Not really relevant, but I thought I'd mention it in order to give some a picture of things. Anyway, people were leaving the mall, and I was patrolling as usual as stores began to shut down. It got to the point where no one was really in the store anymore. But for some reason, there was someone standing in a statue-like position in front of a wall next to the restroom. I do mean literally a statue-like state, staring at the wall and smiling. I slowly approached the person and waved my hand to get their attention. Nothing. They made no movement. "Sir, it's time to leave, we're closing." The person didn't move at all, still despite me standing right in front of them and speaking to them. I got fed up with their disrespect and grabbed the man by the arm. He seemed to have come out of a trance and began walking towards the exit like a moth to a flame. This was weird, but what happened next was even weirder. Once everyone was no longer in the mall, the same wall the man was looking at began to open up. Yes, you read that right. It began to open up like some sort of secret entrance. I know it's hard to believe and you will think I'm lying, but that's okay. I walked inside out of curiosity. The entrance took me to a stairwell that led underneath the mall. I was immediately met with the smell of a foul stench. It was suddenly made known to me that this smell was the smell of people who hadn't showered in who knows how long. There were cages with tons of people packed in them. I was in shock at this discovery. Everyone began screaming and begging me to let them out. "Hurry, he's coming back," a woman yelled as she looked over into the distance. A shadow-like figure emerged, holding a knife. They wore a mask that looked like it was inspired by the Scream movie. "You weren't supposed to see this." The person took off the mask, revealing something I couldn't believe and still can't till this day. "It was my boss. You have no way out of here, so you might as well talk about this." He put his knife down. I turned to run back up the stairs, but to my surprise, the wall closed up. "Let's make this easy. I'm going to let you walk to the exit behind me, and once you do that, you don't speak of this to anyone. Hell, even if you do, who is going to believe you?" My boss stepped to the side, gesturing for me to leave. I froze and didn't know what to do. I wanted to attack him and free the people, but I realized that he had now revealed a gun and was pointing it at me. I slowly walked past him and left the underground area. I called the cops to investigate, but nobody was able to find anything, of course. They actually looked at me crazy the entire time the next day. I got word months later that they actually did find the underground area, but there was nothing there. All the people had been moved. I will never know where they went. I obviously quit my job and never looked back. My boss never gave me a call. I suspect he immediately moved everyone knowing I would call the police. I am doing my own investigation on him. I will find out where he took the people and handle it myself.